Alrighty, guys. So I'm back again with the Wickerbottom series. We're gonna resume the world here. So today's topic that I'm gonna talk about not gonna be too complex because I might be going the ruins this episode. I don't know. Uh, we're gonna be talking about why you should get a credit card when you come of age. So if you're not 18 yet, if you're not an adult in your country or whatever, chances are you probably can't get a credit card, and for good reason because credit cards are basically they are a little card that you get and you can get a loan from the bank with them immediately, a very high interest loan, I will say. So it gets about 30% interest on whatever you're taking out a year. It depends on the card. It can vary quite a bit. Some of them have specials and all that, but you can look into that when you actually get one. But basically, what it is, you get a little plastic card, and then on that card you have a certain limit that you can go to that lets you take money from the bank as a loan. Normally they are coming in pretty small amounts. So mine's like 2 grand, right? And I got that just when I turned 18, and I'm 19 now. Haven't needed to get a bigger one yet, but basically what those do for you is, first things first, they offer some nice little rewards on them usually. So normally they'll have like some sort of sign up bonus, whatever that may be. It can be all over the place. The one I got, it was like you spend $1,000 the first few months, and then you get a couple $100 in rewards, which is basically like you can redeem those for gift cards, which is great. You know, you always want some free stuff, right? And you're gonna spend money anyways. You need to spend money to live, right? So that's always a possibility there. You get some free stuff, right, when you spend with it. So that's always really nice. And really the main reason why you would want to get a credit card as soon as you can, though, is because there's this nice little thing called a credit score, which most people don't really talk about. You might hear Dave Ramsey, if you ever watch him, he might talk about actually not getting a credit card, but he's really far off. And the reason he says that is because something I'll be talking about later. But basically, your credit score is what banks use and what basically everyone uses to determine how financially trustworthy you are. So if you have a high credit score, everyone thinks you are financially trustworthy. Now, it doesn't mean that you necessarily have, like a lot of money to your name or anything. If you had an 850 credit score, which is the maximum, that's just saying that you're really safe to do transactions with, and that you are a great person to deal with. Oh, lovely, this little merm set piece. I kind of want the pig house there, but I'm going to skip it because this merm's really on me. Okay, we're going to go into the forest over here. This world's kind of a weird layout. What was I going to say? So yeah, basically that credit score, why that's important. So if you ever want to move out of your house, move out of your parents' house, you haven't done that yet, is you go to rent another place, and they will check your credit score when you are trying to rent. And a lot of times, if you have a really high credit score, so say you have like an 800 plus, you can actually use that to get some money off your rent. And basically, all you got to do to make it so that your credit score goes up using that card is you go ahead and you just make sure to pay off the credit card every time you use it, and just like pretty much as quick as possible. So the faster you do it, actually, I think they check like every week or so. They check for how much you're actually using of the credit card, so how much is actually taken out at a certain time. And then they check at every end of the month for actually like charging you interest, I think it is. But what you can do is you can go to the bank's website that you get it from, and you can set it up on auto payments. That way you never forget, so you never get charged interest. Always got to make sure you have enough money in the bank account for whatever you're spending, right? You never want to spend beyond your means, because then you'll get stuck in a place where you're paying high interest credit card debt, which is the reason why Dave Ramsey may say, oh yeah, you shouldn't get a credit card, because a lot of people, they have very low self-control. If you're that person and you know you have low self-control, just don't get a credit card, okay? Ignore what I'm saying here, because this is going to be bad for you. But basically, their whole goal is they entice you in with all these special offers, so that way they can catch the bottom, 20, 30% of the population that can't control themselves free money, quote unquote, that's being given to them. And then they can charge them ridiculous interest, like that 30% annually, which is, in any normal situation, that'd be like almost illegal to charge that much because you'd basically be loan sharking. And at that point, the person gets stuck. They can never pay it off because the interest rate is too high and they probably don't earn enough. So they just keep getting paid by this person until, like 20 years later when they eventually finally finish paying it off. But for you, if you are one of those people who can actually, handle a credit card, you get to reap all the benefits of that. So you get the reward points. My credit card, for instance, and I'm still very young, gets like a 1% cash back in terms of points on anything I spend. So I get a lot of free stuff there, a lot of free gift cards, because you spend a lot more money than you think you do once you actually start getting some stuff done. And with those points, you can get some... Ooh, stagehand. Spooked me. We're looking for another cave entrance. Yeah, with those points, you can buy gift cards, whatever they have on their site. Generally, I just go with like Amazon gift cards because that's the thing that's closest to cash. I don't know what type this is. I want to leave my stuff here. Green mushrooms. Gross. Yeah, and so with that, I hear a lot of people say, I don't want to get a credit card. I think they're bad. I think debt's bad. Debt isn't bad. That's another thing I wanted to talk about. Debt is actually a good thing if you are using it right. So all you got to do is make certain that your debt, whatever you're taking debt out for, is actually earning you money. So a good example of this would be, common example I should say, would be landlord taking out a mortgage to buy a house, and then he rents it out and he makes some extra money because he's just good at that, right? There's a whole bunch of other things that can go like that, like buying a business on debt. You could be buying equipment on debt, like if you're a plumber and you need a wrench, then it would be smart to buy that on debt, right? Because then you can make money because you have the equipment you need. But what people seem to think is what happens to certain people is they will go and get debt taken out for little personal expenses. They'll buy a TV on debt. They don't really need it, and they just waste a ton of money. And that's basically the way the system's set up for that is. It wants to scam the people who have really, really low financial control and really low self-control this period, and it wants to get them for all the money it possibly can. And so if you're not one of those people, what you could do is you can take that debt, you can be smart with it instead, unlike some of those other people, and you can use it to make money. There's that old saying that goes around that you need money to make money, but no one ever follows up with the rest of it that they should, that money doesn't actually have to be yours. You could take it from wherever else. Most easily, a bank. You just ask for a loan. If you can prove to a bank that whatever you're gonna do is probably going to make you money and it's a very safe bet for them, chances are they're probably gonna make you a loan for it. And that ties right back into the whole credit card thing and why you need to get a credit card, because that little credit score that you got proves that you are financially responsible and that you are a safe person to loan to. That makes it so that you really, it's just showing that you are a safe person to loan to by every time you're paying off that credit card, because it's showing you have responsibility and they track that. And then the banks can go, oh, he wants a loan for this and that, he wants to buy that house over there. Oh yeah, we should loan that to him. He's a safe bet. He's got an 800 credit score. The chances of this going bad on us are less than 1%. We can actually loan it to him at a better rate too. So what banks make money off of is interest, along with a whole bunch of other things like fees. And if you are a safer bet, you can actually negotiate for better interest rates. So this will actually save you a ton of money if you get a credit card while you're young. And it will end up helping you make money in the future if you're smart with it. And I'm just going to make a lantern here, some football helmets, some general stuff, We're going to drop these here. What else do I need? Don't need that anymore. Garbage. These are rot. Okay. And there was something else I wanted to talk about. Okay. And then, also, it is possible, I should say, to get a credit card as a minor, at least in the United States. I did that, but what you have to do is, most banks aren't stupid enough to give you a credit card, right? It's not illegal for them to just use solo, but the thing is, it is illegal to come after a minor for debt, so they can't get the money back from you in any way unless you just voluntarily give it to them, which no sane person would do in that circumstance, right? Because they could just keep the money. It'd be free money, right? Because, you know, you're not stupid. But what you can do is you can get a cosigner. So if you have like a parent or something that's willing to cosign on it for you, you can get like a little $100 credit card. And then if you wanted to say move out the moment you turned 18, you could have like a 750 credit score before you even move out of the house, and you'd be all good to go. What did I need? I needed a shovel. Oh, I can just make a shovel. I'm playing Wickerbottom. You know, I'm a very smart player, as you can see. Okay, so we're looking for some blue mushrooms. Yeah, and credit cards, gosh, people just underestimate the use of credit cards. And they use them wrong, too. So just make certain, if you do take this advice and get a credit card, make certain that you're paying it off every month. Make certain to set up auto pay. I actually go through and pay mine off every 3 days. That way I can make certain my credit score stays high. Very important to me. But most people won't do that. They won't use it responsibly. But hey, you can do better than them. And what you can do, I'm going back to what I was saying earlier, is yeah, cosigner on credit card if you're below 18. Very possible to get one before. And then when you get your credit score up high when you're that young, it's going to be so helpful to you. If you can go and say $5,000, you could go and buy a house the moment you turn 18. If you want to live in that, you could buy a duplex if you wanted to. If you're in a cheap living area, in an FHA loan, what you could do is rent out half a house and then have that. You could have that make it so the mortgage is basically null on the house because the rent is going to cover it if you get a good enough deal on the duplex. And this is a big mosaic mushroom forest. Okay. And yeah, you'd be living rent-free then. All because you got a good credit score and you had a couple grand. Couple grand, not very hard to have by the time you're 18. You know, you could have a job before then. And it would be very possible. And just because you had that credit card, it's possible. If you didn't have that credit card before you just turned 18 and you're showing a question on your credit score, no bank's gonna make you a loan for a house, dude. No, they would never do that because that would be absurdly risky for them. And they don't want to lose money loaning it out to you and then having you not pay and they have to come after you and do all this extra work to try and get the money out of you. That would be insane of them if they were to do that. Red mushrooms. Okay, we're going to go find the ruins. And someone in one of my other videos was asking how you find the ruins. So basically what I normally do is I try and find 3 cave entrances that are to different branches. So you can see one branch is right here, another branch is right here, and we can see a third branch over there. So generally I would imagine the ruins would be somewhere up here or down here. I can't tell exactly which way it's positioned to go, but I'm just testing this branch out to see if this is the correct way. Probably not. Might be, though. And what we're looking for, then, is a muddy light flower forest wherever these converge. I would imagine it's going to be up here now from what I'm seeing. And then you follow the muddy light flower forest. You can just circle the sides of it. And eventually, you're going to find the ruins, which is just the branches of the tree. And right now, we're at the roots is what we're looking at. Might find another cave entrance here, actually, which would let me get out of here. It might be faster. Mine. Time to eat. Yeah, another cave entrance here. Let's see. What does this show us? I got nothing still, so I'm going to go back up to the surface. And that's day 5. That is going to be the end of the episode. So if you like this episode and there's something else you want to talk about, you want me to talk about, just leave it in the comments below. Just comment it down there. I know someone wanted to have me talk about the education system, which I will do in a future episode. Okay. I'm just saying that now. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe. I'll be doing more of this soon. Bye-bye, guys.